Alrighty, so now my grand mission is, can I figure out how to sleep? I'm gonna go to my bed now. What could possibly interrupt me at this point? I mean, I thought I was gonna go to bed like 3 episodes ago, I think, but, you know. We can do it. I believe in us. What did we do to this place? Didn't we say that other thing was barely bigger than our room? This room's actually fairly okay and big. See you in the morning. Oh, it's got a little upside down parentheses. Bye. Has it always been there in the dialogue? No, it's not there. It's just there. Weird. It's just yeah, the dialogue doesn't normally say that. Huh. Do I finally have the willpower to face my own reflection? Yep. This weird expression. Let's see if we can dig deep into our mind to locate the source of the expression. It belongs to the third decade of the current century. Enough time has passed from the failure of the revolution that for a fleeting moment, free market economy seemed like the ultimate, uncontested way of life for our species. Okay. Things were good. It was smooth sailing. People made gold and champagne-tinted interiors and facades to suit the times, calling this the new style, but more importantly, disco happened. Forget the ostentatious orchestrations. For Revachol, your city, that meant only one thing. Guillaume le Million. If it doesn't rhyme, you're not pronouncing it right. Out of the dazzling swirl of disco music, in an open-air boîte de nuit, somewhere in Revachol West, Guillaume's blonde mane appeared on the screen. He sang some bullshit, then he made the expression. So I adopted it. Why? Everyone loved it. Maybe you thought some of the stardust would rub off on you? Maybe it did. Either way, it's all gone now. Only the grimace remains. Oh, I'm emulating some disco god, apparently. I look so much better in this reflection than I do in my own portrait, which is the funny part. Why is my hair a different length in each one? I don't know. I feel like I need to add a clicking sound when I make it. The click is used to spur on a horse. It also features heavily in Guillaume Le Million's regional mega hit Don't Worry, Your Pretty Little Head. Sometimes you like to add finger pistols to the mix because unlike Guillaume de Million, you are a police officer. It's your nifty little way to say, I'm armed and dangerous. How long ago was the new? There was a vast ocean of time between now and the expression looking good on you. Or anyone. 2 decades, if the calendar is to be trusted. Humanity has run around in that time. It's a different world now. The expression's a relic. Anything else? Like who I am? Why did I become a cop? Why did I drink myself into oblivion? You have some understanding of the near history of disco, plus the trivia you've picked up along the way. Episodic memory, however, remains in the dark. It may never return. You should prepare yourself for that. Does this have anything to do with the ostentatious orchestrations? Not really. Oh, must have just stirred your mind. They're more like a disco rock band anyway. I guess that's it then. I have a new thought about this. There's so many thoughts to have. I'm just so full of thoughts. An inescapable volume of thoughts. Guillaume le Million. -1 logic for a bit for having my head in the clouds. Whatever happened to Guillaume le Million, who, with this amber mane and sparkling teeth, beguiled the tattered remains of the nation? While you suffered and suffered, did he dematerialize into a cloud of cocaine dust? Or did he simply stand in the corner and melt into the slendering new lines of some starlit boîte de nuit 20 years ago? I have no idea how to pronounce these things. Spare a thought for his great ass, too. Or wait, maybe he became a police officer in Revachol West. Just has THC down here. Of course. Alright, let's see. This is coming up too much for me to not Google. So, where was it? Boite de nuit. Why is that autocomplete to Paris? Oh, English translation. Oh, it just means nightclub. Club of the night, maybe? Maybe boite means club and night, nuit means night. Would be my guess, because that's the word that sounds most like another word, is nuit. Nuit? Bout de nuit? I'm extra fucked when it comes to French, because from my perspective as an English speaker, it sounds like they're just skipping most of the letters. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? What? Why did you put them there then, if they're just lies? It doesn't have to be. You can swoon over Guillaume and his champagne cork smile whenever you want to. Maybe some of the stardust will return. Attempt to stop the expression. Impossible. Yep. Interfacing. Use your chain cutters to fix the faucet. Stop steam from fogging up the mirror. Very low. Tool not on hand. Yeah, that doesn't help. But fixable. Chain cutters. Very high chance of success now. And yet. And yet I'm this bad at things. I forgot to read what it said. It's probably not that big of a deal. I don't know. I forgot to read what it said. Hopefully I didn't break it. It says I can try again. I don't know. Maybe I'll remember to check what it said later when I look at my own recording. I did not mean to really skip that. Whoops. Still have a locked door in my own room, which is kind of weird. But okay. Now we can ignore the fan. Please, for the love of God, sleep. The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful. That is not a... That's not identifiable as a bed. What the fuck am I looking at? There's a bunch of exposed boards that would make up the springboard or whatever, kind of, around here. There's a cushion here and a cushion here. Then there's like a rolling cushion going up the wall for some reason. Some parts of it look like kind of like a couch that's in bed mode, but even that doesn't quite seem to make sense. It's kind of hard to make sense of what's going on with these cushions. I'm just gonna try not to think about it. Tutorial agent. The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 21 o'clock. We're all in. The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. Oh no. And then, sleep doesn't come. But I want to sleep. Obviously, you're in bed with your eyes closed, but it's not happening. Why? Maybe it's the bed's fault. Check the pillow. Its synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly. Smells of alcohol and sweat and grease. Check the blanket. It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing. A bit tense, and the muscles relax. Roll over on the other side. It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve your case, isn't it? Who killed him? Who? Something to do with... What was it the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between slowing brainwaves. No more thoughts. Fall asleep now. Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep, and images start forming. Am I sleepwalking? Am I remembering something that from the last few days because I've forgotten those days? Or is this just my brain making shit up. We seem interested in the body, it would appear. Is there no Kuno here for once? Oh, thank God. Some saving grace from time to time. Oh, it's me. That's not good. And disco. It's me with a disco ball hanging over my head, hanging from the tree. Disco really is dead. Oh no.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
That's supposed to be what I sound like? The voice from the beginning, the reptile brain. Is that also what my character actually sounds like when he's voiced? I can't do that voice. It's way too gravelly. I was born in a hospital where people usually go to die.
You're not kidding anyone, Harry. You don't remember shit. Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
You said... who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs between her legs and in her mouth?
Tell me what this is. I'm not answering before you tell me who you are.
You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets wandering. It's the worst day of all time, Harry dear. And it's coming. She will hear about it on the phone. Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This will be the last thing you did to her. Tell me, do you remember the love of your life?
I was left.
That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. One hand on the bottle and the other on your dick. Watching her go. Let it all be dragged away from you. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I can get it all back.
No, it's gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
What is Elysium?
Everything. The Pale and the Isolas on the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people, and you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
I've talked to you before.
No, Harry. You were just talking to yourself. That's all you ever do, even in your dreams, and the act is wearing thin. The spots on the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time, sweating up the bed. Stinky boy.
I can come back from this.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours, bumping into things and acting like a clown? Who are you kidding?
I'm trying to solve this case.
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
Something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad. This dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
God, there's another type?
Oh yes, party boy. And it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Well, I'm guessing I'm not going to be better today. Yeah. Congrats, me. Maybe I just go back to sleep? Oh. How you hanging in there? Good going, buddy. Is that how it's going to be now when I close my eyes? Yes. Wait till you see the one with the chick in it. It's gonna be a good one. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night. What the hell's going on with me? You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think. Why is this happening? It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. Volition. You're too weak to say no now. Waking up is the worst part. Maybe somewhere down the line you could decline. Wait, what is speed? Speed is a potent central nervous system stimulant. It kept you all propped up all day yesterday despite your debilitating hangover. How else did you think you got up from this floor? It's power, man. It's professionalism. It makes you feel like you're young again and ready to detect, ready to go to war against the world. No, I can take this. I'm not going to go looking for speed. Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically a week? Let's be honest, 2 weeks, maybe 3, you won't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You will be fired. That's a lie. I can do this without the speed. Half the town won't be dead. Suit yourself, slow, sad shell man. See how you do it without even your spark. So we're fighting addiction on top of everything else. The bed is still cold from the broken window. Not too inviting, but it's yours. You've earned it. But I can't rest now. Great. Yeah, the window's broken, so this whole room is awful. That's not helping me at all. Now I'm coming off of drugs from before, so basically I'm worse off, essentially. That's not good. Is there a visible debuff somewhere in here from my speed problem? Maybe under thoughts? Maybe. Yeah, it's not going anywhere for now. Don't worry, buddy. I believe in us. We can do this. We can get it together. Maybe I should say hi to my neighbor who loves me and we're good friends. There's no answer. You hear the shower being turned on somewhere inside. A tremendous loneliness comes over you. Everyone in the world is doing something without you. I'm so alone. The door is indifferent to your loneliness. The world does not care. I can't say hi to my neighbor. Oh well. A brand new day. And a lot of objectives to review. I should look into a number of things. What? Where am I? Oh, that was the weird closed off room from before. Gotcha. Everyone seems to have rearranged themselves a bit. Good morning.
Morning.
He gives you a quick nod. Looks like we can get to work at once. The union muscle turned up. He points to the mess hall downstairs. Or, mess hall doors. They look rowdy. We should talk to them. Are these the men Gart told us about yesterday? I completely forgot. He looks at the notes. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them, by the looks of it. Loud and nasty. Just like the manager said. Level up! Find out who's in the union box. He crosses something out. One loose thread, less to worry about. And one big problem to replace it. Okay, for damages, what else got completed? There's something new was there. Alright. Well, I can afford a new one of these. I want to focus on self-critique or Guillaume. Probably the self-critique. Let's get this done with. And just enjoy a nice -5 authority, which is pretty incredible. I'm honestly impressed, if we're being honest. Like, that's incredible. Just a -6 collectively. Why do we need to talk to them? Everything points to the dock workers union. The belt used for hanging them, tracks in the mud. The circumstances in Martinez. My preliminary information. Which may, of course, all be wrong. But we still need to talk to them, and it won't be easy. What do you mean rowdy? I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the union. These men here. Men who drink beer for breakfast. There's talk of an armed wing in the union called the Hardie boys. Who are responsible for said policing. I think it's them. There's so many of them. No, let's go for it. We're not gonna get support anyway. One more thing before we do. He glances at the booth again. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business. Yeah, streetwise. Zoom right past. Do it on your own terms. But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about the murder? They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I'll leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me. Hey there.
Just a moment.
Where's the cryptozoologist? You're always here. The old woman turns back to the cafeteria manager. She's agitated, judging from the way she keeps pulling at the frayed edge of her blanket.
And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
The cafeteria manager appears genuinely apologetic.
It's fine. I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear.
Good day, ma'am. Everything all right?
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
She sighs. Wait, what's wrong with the phone line?
The manager was vague about it.
He frowns. Why would he be vague about phone problems? This is something to look into later. Ask Art, maybe. Why'd you need to use the phone anyway?
To let the young woman who is house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and Gary were supposed to be back on Monday night, but they're still missing and I haven't heard from them. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
A little missing person's puzzle might be just the thing to take your mind off the hangover. Okay, I'll bite. Has your husband gone missing before?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully.
A cold breeze hisses through the dense thickets of the reeds. Something sweet in it, somnolent. A damp chill goes down your spine, and when you look around, you're still in the whirling in rags.
But you have more important things to worry about.
She glances out the window towards the bay. What is this expedition your husband was on? Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast, across the waterlock, to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. She sighs. What could be keeping them? Wait, who's this Gary person? Do you trust him? She smiles. Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that. Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day. Are they in a rough neighborhood? There's a nameless old fishing village nearby, but we've never had any trouble there before. She stops, then continues, worried. There is a lot of crime around here, isn't there? I can't say it's the best part of town, but I wouldn't worry too much about a pair of grown men traveling together. Some fringe science is exactly what's needed right now. Spice up that vanilla murder investigation. This sounds like police business. I'll help find your husband. Are you sure we have time to go chasing after bug hunters just now? The lieutenant tilts his head towards the vigilantes in the cafeteria. I did suggest we play it cool, but... I've already given my word. I'm honor bound to uphold it. He sighs. If you say so. Oh, thank you, officers, truly. It'll be right here if you come across any sign of Morel. So your husband is some kind of scientist? Oh, yes, she says with a pinch of pride. A zoologist, a cryptozoologist, to be more precise. What's a cryptozoology? What's cryptozoology? Rare animals? It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends. Oh, so not rare animals, fictional animals? The lieutenant sounds unimpressed. That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions. She's used to playing off such insults casually, but they still affect her. My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby. It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume of them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species, called cryptids, is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research. The quality of research at Rivicolian universities has been on the decline, but you doubt there was ever a time when cryptozoology was embraced by the academic elite. Maybe you could convince her to tell you about some cool cryptids. Why is this? You're an enthusiastic idiot, but you're still an idiot. I want to know everything about cryptids, living cryptids, extinct cryptids, marine cryptids, land cryptids, bring it on. We don't have time for Cryptozoology 101. Let's get back to work, shall we? Why is it so hard to do a check to convince her to, like, want to tell me about cryptids? That's weird. I guess your convincing skill has +1 because you keep your ape pen around. That's kind of funny. Tell me about more about Morel. Looks, character, your relationship. Oh dear, I'm not sure where to begin. What does your husband look like? Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's, and his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, and he's quite gentle. You can't go around Revachol feeling grown men's hands. If you want to find her husband, you'll need more concrete information. Let's try again. Why don't you try describing him as you would one of your cryptids? Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame. And he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even. The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description. One other thing. He'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds. You know, just in case. How long have you been married? We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Her smile is soft. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow. How did you two meet? Via a dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident, and he'd just divorced. We hit it off, and, well, here we are. She smiles wistfully. She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later. I think we have all the information we need. Let's move on. I hope I've been useful. Tell me more about this rare insect your husband's looking for. Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. She catches herself, but I shouldn't bore you with the entomological minutiae. The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance. No, I want to hear about the insect. Well, she hesitates. It's a phasmid, technically, but... Ah, yes. Phasmatodea. A diverse group of insects whose bodies resemble twigs, leaves, and that sort of thing. Ghost insects, colloquially. Oh, like a stick bug. Where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one is a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here in the insular Indian coast. He looks you in the eye and nods thoughtfully, hence the name, the insular Indian phasmid. Perhaps you'll even end up co-discovering the phasmid with us officers. I knew it. The lieutenant sighs. We're going to be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists. It's not made up, officer, I can assure you. It's simply elusive. So much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all. What makes you think the phasmid's around here? Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping. So a newspaper clipping is all the evidence you have? Of course. Most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insulindian phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at. Enthusiasm has wiped the worry from her face. Her eyes sparkle behind her glasses. You really seem excited about this cryptid. I suppose I have something of a personal connection to the Insulindian phasmid. All scientists have their little hobby horses. So is it dangerous? She chuckles to herself. Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully? Is it valuable? Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie. Does it have cool powers? Yes. It can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. Her face lights up at the thought of it. It's how it stayed hidden all these years. Centuries even. Okay. What's so special about this stick bug then? Oh dear. I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special. The woman's face flushes with embarrassment. Morel can explain it all the better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'll understand, I'm sure. Well, that's all for all, ma'am. Alright. The poor lady in the wheelchair, her husband's missing. That's sad. I feel like I could use my Oh, day-to-day scheduling. That's interesting. The pissing competition. I don't think I care about that. Find booze and drink it. That seems not like a great idea. We're still trying to figure out who... Yeah. Yeah, keep searching for the caller despite lacking any leads. This might take some time. Still trying to figure out who reported the crime in the first place. Who put the clothes in the trash? Somebody has access to the garbage. Might take a while. I'm supposed to talk to Alice again about the armor, so we could check in on that. Technically not a day later, it's just the next day, which is different from being a day later. It's not 24 hours later, but, you know. Monica's titties are big. Wow, these guys seem like geniuses. The tomatoes are so thinly sliced you can see through them. Damn. Time for our daily chat. The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence. Do you know what's behind that door? He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging and muttering something to himself. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door. I don't think I need anything else. Stay masculine. Yeah. I should talk to this guy. I'm supposed to pay him every day. But he also might have information I need. The phone lines.
Can I help you?
He arches an eyebrow. About my bill for tonight. Got the 20 real. Oh, no I don't. Not yet. He rolls his eyes. Then why are you wasting my time and yours? I saw a thing at the Whirligig. So the phone line's dead? Yes. The phone company is taking its sweet time sending someone to fix it. He shakes his head and adds, losers. That's pretty strange. It's not strange, it's inconvenient. Is it true that there was foul play? He wrinkles his nose. Who told you that? I would never disclose my sources, that would be dishonorable. Fine. Yeah, it looks like someone had messed with the wiring. It was shortly after the hanging, but I don't know if that's at all related. Plenty of assholes around here who aren't murderers. If you do find out who cut the line, though, let me know, so I can forward them the repair bill. Maybe I can fix the line. If I can find where it is broken. I've got interfacing skills. I might be good at that specific kind of thing. Is that the gardener from earlier? Because I think it is. I'm sorry, does this guy just stand around and fucking guard the dining area all day? Is that a thing he does?
Let me handle this.
The woman says to the crowd in the mess hall before turning to you.
You seem a little different today. Less hospitable.
You are far from home, Lieutenant. This isn't a district known for its love of self-proclaimed militiamen.
I mean no trouble, I'm here to do my job. That's all. Not a muscle moves in her face, but her eyes trace yours, stern and perceptive.
You are looking for Titus Hardie, who you think has information on the murder the RCM is investigating. You want to interview him.
She points to the man standing in the middle of the room.
That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong-arming, nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her. Aw. She was nicer when she gave me the gloves earlier. What's your role in all this? Obviously, I'm a lawyer. A legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. She crosses her arms. I would urge you to consider what you say to my clients. What if we want to talk to you, not Titus? What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are no one. She's spying on me, basically. Why are you so aggressive? Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence. These people are just dock workers. Yeah, dock workers that may have murdered somebody. So you were spying on us. And now you represent murder suspects, just dock workers. Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Rivercall. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all. And you're their bodyguards. Fuck yeah. The tall, broad-shouldered man takes a sip of his beer. So, ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. What the fuck is this option? Is it the world needs a financial buffer zone, no need to get emotional? Or the privatization is not unlawful, it's cool and funny. Maybe you're just not historic individuals. What the fuck is that? I don't know where you heard that, but it's wrong. The RCM is principled and strong, unlike you socialists. I like that. Good start. Let's take it a step further. Armed uprising. What are the union's plans? Oh yeah, let's do that. Let's ask those questions. Yeah, I like that. Good start. Let's take it a step further. Armed uprising. What are the union's plans? Look, a comedian. Her expression stiffens. Do your job. Ask your questions. Then get out of Martinez. Strange. It's as if people don't believe a cop could be a socialist revolutionary. Yeah. I wonder why. What are you going to do to me? The lieutenant is not satisfied with the approach. What are we going to do to you? She starts laughing. It's a cold laughter, devoid of joy. The union isn't going to do anything to you. It's not a crime syndicate, it's a labor organization. A gruff hump from the table. Goddamn right it is. If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. She shakes her head, but we digress. I should talk to Titus then. Yeah, I didn't really mean to pick that. That wasn't a great choice. Like, what are you gonna do about it? Is basically the stance I took, which is not really my style. It's a bowl. There's spit in it, reeking of tobacco.
This is where you say your bits.
That was way louder than I was ready for it. Let's turn this down a little bit on my end. A broad-shouldered man points at you with a beer can. He and his men carry themselves like giants. You'll need to prove your mettle to be taken seriously.
Detective?
Lieutenant acknowledges you with a sharp note. He's leaving it to you. I have to look like a badass? That's unfortunate. I'm really bad at emotional manipulation or being a strong boy. Those are my two bads. We need to talk about the man hanging out back.
Oh, this is about him? A real looker, that one.
Who'd you think it was?
You're sure taking your time. Waiting for him to get all ripe and pretty for you, huh?
Oh, he's a real pretty boy by now. Real hot stuff. Letting out that pretty boy smell.
Okay, that was like a supervillain laugh.
Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Oh no, that's what I said in my dream.
Easy, boys. These janitors have a hell of a job cut out for them. I mean, I wouldn't go in there for $1 million.
He slaps his forehead.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
For some reason, Titus is like, after audio processing, it might not be obvious to you guys, but Titus is so much louder than all the other voice actors for some reason. It's a little odd. Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. 8 if we count her. Scan the room. Starting from the right, boot size 44, blonde man in his 30s, overbearingly masculine. Wants the world to know he's a macho man. Tobacco chewing and knuckle cracking. Who else do we have here? Sitting on his right, Theo. Standard working boots, Size 45 or 46, eldest in the room, probably mid-50s, smoker, quiet. Elaine. Across, at the other table, hobnailed working boots, size 43, gang tattoos, mass score, Sarah Mauritian, in his late 30s, early 40s. He spent his youth in Villalobos, a housing project in the Jamrock Quarter. There were incarcerations. Hard to say what else. The ink is fading. What? You know where he spent his youth? Interesting. And then, Titus Hardie, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 46, the big dick. Wide at the shoulders and lean in the hips, rugby cap, fingerless gloves, numerous scars, a little under 40. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it says T. Hardie, Captain. Eugene. In the far corner, standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes, size 44, 40-something, non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum? Alright, googling that. Plectrum. Looks like a... yeah. A plectrum's a guitar pick, apparently. Unless that's the name of the drink, too. The first result that comes up, though, for a plectrum is a thin, flat piece of plastic, tortoise shell, or otherwise slightly flexible material held or worn in the fingers and used to pluck the strings of a musical instrument such as a guitar. I have never heard of it called as a plectrum. I've always heard of it called as called a guitar pick. Where? On his neck. Forget it, it's not important. Let's call this one the musician. And the little guy? Shanky, size 41, with a light step. Not a child after all. An older man with a rat face, mean, watery eyes, and 2 front teeth missing. Pat Angus, in the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy, boot size 46, deep marks. Probably carried the victim over. He alone is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor and you probably could easily exceed 220. In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy. This is quite a freaking Sherlock moment here, where we just, like, do some basically impossible levels of magic super deductions. Like, it's based on reality, it's just next level perception. Like, holy shit. One of them's missing. The odd soul. Exactly. You've stood here for 4 seconds not saying anything. Hit them with questions. Where's the 8th Hardie? The fuck is with you, fella? Titus is staring at you with his head tilted. I found 8 sets of footprints, but there's only 7 of you. Where's the 8th Hardie boy? What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardie boy. There's 7 of us, and we're all here. He sizes you up. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardie boy? We ain't hiring. He shakes his head. Actually, boss, we've been talking. Maybe we could, maybe. And we think, oh, she could. This lady? Is it her? Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe. She. So there is an 8th Hardie, and it's a Hardie girl. Who might that be? Elizabeth? The gardener? Shut the fuck up, Glenn, he roars. I do the talking here. Now what the fuck do you want, cop? It has to be good, if he won't let you pursue it. Looks like the lieutenant thinks so too. So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardie boy. It's a she, and she doesn't like us talking about her. That's right, we're not talking about this. This is a private Hardie boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. And he points at Kim. You're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you. Good. We're all watching each other. Lieutenant adjusts his spectacles. Officer, your question? The hanged man in the backyard. Did you do it? The pretty boy? He takes a sip of his can. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy. Funny, the lieutenant says without a smile. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you. Why are your boot prints all over the scene? You mean these boots? He raises his worker boot, size 46, steel reinforced toe. Yes. We all got a pair. He squints. We wore them the night we took the pretty boy out back and hung him by the neck. Yeah, we did this. He looks you dead in the eye. Together, all of us, until he was dead. That's why our prints all over the scene. There's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could just take him away. It's too simple. You could squint your eyes, but there's a catch. There is no catch. These 7 honest men have all equally come forth to tell you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of your time. They're covering for the 8th person, aren't they? All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic. Why'd you kill him? Why? He hisses through his teeth. Because he was worthless mercenary scum, and he stepped out of line in my town. So he's a mercenary? That's it? And he stepped out of line, he repeats, jaw clamped shut like a vice. What kind of mercenary? The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Lee Schmin and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Orangey's Special Forces. A live grenade. The man spreads his arms. Right in our bar. I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire muck shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara. Hold on, how do you even know he was in Special Forces? Because one night he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm Orangey's goddamn Special Forces and I'm gonna fuck you all. Really? Yeah, really. Had a grin, had a gin and tonic there, sang some Orangey's paratrooper song, then said he's gonna fuck everyone. I couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there. He points to the stage. Like some kind of animal. Sire, the tale is true. This is a serious violation of the karaoke code. Right, but what did he actually do wrong? Wrong? He roars. He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning. He wipes spittle from his mouth. From rape, to harassment, to threats of violence. Why the strange de-escalation? He regrets mentioning it, hopes you didn't notice. To kill us if we don't open the gates. If we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. He cracks his knuckles. And that was before he started coming here. Yeah. He said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls, grabbing one of ours mid-karaoke, right here on the stage. He grabbed someone. The lieutenant is trying to make sense of this flood of information. Yeah, this girl's on mic, a beautiful girl, young, gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. Fucker grabs her, starts screaming. Show me your cunt. Why don't you show me your cunt? Then he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down. He shakes his head in disbelief. Was this the same girl who was sexually assaulted? Raped, you said? Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. Got the girl out before anything else could happen. Okay, so that didn't happen then. Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening? He repeats like a parrot. There's something odd here. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it. Right, but who did he rape then? That's a very serious allegation. No. There's a moment of silence. You're not getting a name. That's a Martinez matter, and I'm not discussing it with you clowns. There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you. You murdered him just like that. No remorse. How many people have you sent to the chase? Ever felt remorse for them? Chase electric is the method of capital punishment. Is it electric chair? In Revocol under the Coalition. During the Caesarian's reign, it used to be firing squad. Jesus Christ. Alright. Chase electric. That's an electric chair. Yep. It's just in French. It's just a French electric chair instead of a not French electric chair. Alain. Or sent him to Reunion to rot for 20 years for life? He says it as if it were worse than dying. And Reunion, what's that? It's not in quotes, so I assume I'm asking Encyclopedia. The River Esperus Correctional Facility. A military prison run by the Coalition dubbed Reunion by the inmates. The origin of the name is unknown. What we do is different. We enforce the law. You just go killing people like it's nothing. But you see, a lawman, he says, squeezing his beer can, is something people agree upon. And here at Martinez, we agreed that this man has to die. Who called the shots that night? Are you deaf? There will be no signaling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardie boy without arresting all Hardie boys. A shadow of a smirk passes her lips as she tilts her head. You think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all? A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation. No, but seriously, who calls the shots around here? Who do you fucking think does? He sounds more amused than angry. It's the 8th Hardie boy, the one who's missing, the big dick. A moment of silence. The long-haired one breaks it. Titus, no one was thinking that there's any question who's the leader. That's how he would have ended it. Titus won't let him. No, no, no. He shakes his head. Fuck no. The big dick is right here, asshole. You're looking at it. He grabs his crotch. Right fucking here. Disregard the outburst, officer. He gives Titus a condescending glance. None of the boys have any more comments on their power relations. That night they acted as one, that's all. When did this hanging incident occur? You don't have to keep answering his questions, the fixer turns to remind Titus. I know, Lizzie, relax. He takes a sip. We killed him last Sunday night. Seems like a good way to end the week. How long did you know the victim? Knowing him, we don't associate with scum like that, asshole. Yeah, who do you think we are? What? Titus gives Glenn a stern look. He came around about 3 weeks ago, when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy? By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier, the representative for Wild Pines? The lieutenant pretends to check his notes. The same company you're striking against. No, he stresses. I mean the Pines cow, that stupid-ass cow they sent to fuck us over. But you know what? He rubs his chin, pretending to mull it over. Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough. That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. She turns to you. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions. Why don't I just arrest you? Sounds like a really bad approach right now. How did you kill him? We hanged him up by the neck till he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, copper? Didn't they teach you anything in cop school, idiot? This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know. We need more. Did you muffle him? We haven't heard any reports of screams. Titus, you don't have to clarify anything. We overpowered him, dragged his unconscious body to the tree, put a noose around his neck, and hanged him until he was dead and steady. Well then, did you really hang him until he wasn't moving anymore if you already knocked him out? Or I guess he'd probably wake up again during the panic. Then we left him for seagulls, maggots. The small man points at you. And you fucks. Make them a bit more uncomfortable first, then see if it all adds up. Composure, challenging, but I have it, surprisingly. A decent chance. Things aren't quite right here, are they? Come on, yeah! Titus is solid as a rock, and so are a few of the others, but... Who's cracking into the pressure? This one. Fat Angus. He's sweating profusely and has difficulty breathing. They've smartly kept him out of the conversation thus far. Definitely the weakest link of the chain. What kind of approach is this? Hey, you. You having trouble breathing over there? No. He looks up, startled, his forehead shiny from sweat. A few coiled locks are peeking out from under his warm woolen hat. Of course he's having trouble breathing. Just look at how fucking fat he is. The man next to the big guy bursts out laughing. Fuck off, Shanky. The big boss steps in. Angus is a powerful guy, all muscle. Keep your eye on the powerful guy. Sooner or later he's going to break like a piece of twig. Wasn't he a trained killer from the Orangey Special Forces? If yes, then how'd you manage to overpower him? With numbers, asshole. How do you think? He looks at the woman. You're right, Lizzie. I'm done explaining here. No, he hasn't. Not yet. Where did this overpowering happen? Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to our bar. He looks around. It happened right here. There's something you're not telling me. And fuck you too, Copper. Picking on Angus like this. We're done with this schoolyard shit. And just so you know, he doesn't have trouble breathing. This one's a stone wall. You won't get much more out of him about the night of the murder. Not yet. Right. I had other questions about the lynching. Like what, Copper? We're not gonna get much out of him. So, what are you gonna do now? Nothing. Her reply comes sharp. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong. I think we are going to stick around. Thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus. The lieutenant closes his notebook. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder, even if it is a group responsibility. We're going to look into this. Good luck with that. He grabs another beer. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us, real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating. Establish authority. Yeah, with my -5 authority. I'm gonna take off now. Yeah, that didn't go great. But we did establish this. Establish authority. That's not gonna fucking happen. I have a billion negative authority. It's not gonna happen at all. No. Nope, no, no. All we got going for us is that we learned about that there's an 8th Hardie boy who's female because somebody really slipped up there, and we gotta track that person down. Because they're probably the leader of the whole damn pack. Especially since he's denying it.